Hello and welcome to the Factor 50 podcast, the podcast where comedians spill the tea on all their holiday misadventures. Joining us this week, we have the fabulous Allyson June Smith. Hey, Allyson.
Hello, Tegan. How are
Hey.
you?
I'm good, thank you. How are
Good.
you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm lovely. I'm lovely
You're
today.
rocking the top knot.
Yeah, I rock the top knot basically the entire time I'm at home. It is my number
You
one.
do the same way I do as well. You do like the pineapple
Yeah,
spray. I mean,
I
people won't be able to see this when they're listening to
yeah,
it, but
but it is. It's like yeah. I've been doing it for years, actually. Everyone, this is I've been a top knot girl for ages. I feel like it's my power when I need to think. I just tie it all up. And
yes, same. Do you have
yeah.
a clip at the back as well? The clip is like the key to success.
No, I don't have a clip. Maybe I'll try a clip.
What? How are you defying gravity like that without a big clip?
It's a scrunchie. I mean, we're gonna get intense. I don't know if you call them scrunchies here. Do you call them
Yeah,
scrunchies?
we
Yeah,
call them we have
scrunchies.
scrunchies.
So I just find scrunchies, just a word out, everyone, are the gentlest thing on your hair. If you're using anything else, you are breaking your hair. I just want you to know that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it should be a silk one if you really want to care for the old
Mm.
mane. And I just do it up, and I do like the half pony, and then just pull it.
Pull.
Yeah, and it just falls and sits. I've been doing this for so many years that it's just like, there you go.
It's like
Yeah.
a rainbow.
Thanks.
I do. I've actually got a nickname at work. My boss calls me TK, which stands for top knot. And she even writes it on email. She's like, "Hey TK," and then everyone at work's like, "Why is she called it?" I thought her surname was an M. Like everyone gets really confused because that's my. No, that's not. They're like, that's not her initials. I'm like, it's the top knot.
That is a fabulous little nickname to have. I love, and that's your boss at work?
Yeah.
Shout out to Tegan's boss. You sound cool.
So what's been going on? How's life? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, today is Thursday. I'm staying in town. Look, as a comedian, all you do is think about, where am I going this weekend? Where was I last weekend? Because it is a blur after a while. You're like, okay, so this weekend I'm very excited because I get to stay home. I get to work from
wow, what a
home.
treat.
Yeah. So it's like, it just almost feels like a holiday. It's funny we're doing this right now because I feel like I'm on holiday because I don't have to, all my gigs are just within the city on Friday and Saturday. Oh, what a dream.
Stunning. Where are you Friday and Saturday?
I'm at a lovely club called the Frog and Bucket.
Oh yeah, that old chestnut.
That old chestnut. And then on Saturday, I have a double. I'm also going to be at a show called A Lovely Time.
That looks really cool.
Yeah. It's hosted by Amy Gledhill, I believe. She is the face. She is the host. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's a birthday show, so I also found out there's going to be cake.
Oh,
Gives me an excuse to eat cake. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. So that's what's going on with me. I mean, if we're talking current, existentially, I mean, a lot of questions that are not answered, and I am concerned about my future. But other than that, today, great day.
Well, it feels like we're on holiday, so we may as well get into the holidays. So
Let's do it.
Let's start with the best holiday. What was your best holiday ever?
But life is very different when you're a comedian. So most of my places I've been that I would consider like holiday have been also while I've been doing shows. So I did shows and this sounds crazy, but I really enjoyed Cambodia. That was one of the most...
You did a show in Cambodia?
I did a show in Cambodia. The show itself, great. But Cambodia itself, and I don't know if I should really say this, but this is truly for me why I loved it so much. This is why I loved Cambodia. Cambodia, look, it's got a dark history. Go learn about the dark history, and we learn from our mistakes. But Cambodia is wild. It's like the Wild West of places. So, for example, I myself, because I am Canadian and it's legal, I am a little bit of a marijuana smoker. Well, that was easy to find. And in fact, Cambodia, they make pizza with marijuana in it. Thank you very much. So I had a pizza with weed. And then also, I got a little bit of a sinus infection. I get them from time to time. You can get antibiotics in Cambodia over the counter.
What?
So Cambodia for me was like everything I needed. I was like, oh, woo, I'm not going to get sick. I got weed in my pizza. It's beautiful. Cambodia was pretty wild.
What do you need?
I mean, for holidays, that's ridiculous.
What was the show like?
Well, look, how do I say it? I don't want to look. People can have their opinions of Cambodia, but what I saw was gentlemen with much younger dates
Oh.
in the front row. I'm like, yeah, I think, people, it was just interesting. And maybe it was just that group that night, but I saw a lot of older men with younger local girls.
Did you chat to them? Did you do a bit of crowd work?
Well, like a bit, because they were British dudes, so I could be like, oh, hello, sir. And like,
They're British dudes, sorry.
Hey, what goes on goes on. And, those ladies looked happy. I'm sure they married very nice gentlemen that took them to a comedy show. But they looked at me like they did not know what was happening. And I was like, this is wild. Cambodia is wild. But it was fun. But then, of course, there was like other types of people. Like it was a fun show. But it's always weird. Doing shows in Cambodia or like any place like that is always interesting because you got to go, okay, well, what's going to work? What is the most universal thing I can talk about? Which is usually love, relationships, parents. Do you know what I mean? You think of like themes of life.
Yeah.
And then you kind of build off of that, I think.
Yeah, like I probably couldn't do my material about like primary school hymns or like pets at home.
You could probably do primary school hymns because you could say something like, when I was at school growing up, we used to have to sing that and then do your joke.
Yeah. But right? You'd have to know the song.
Set it.
So it's a bit like,
oh, yeah. Okay.
niche.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
You have to teach everyone the songs.
And, and then they'll be like, then the joke's gone.
Okay, and then this, if I could get this side of the room to...
Put your hands in the air, praise Jesus.
Although in Cambodia, they probably like, sure, whatever, let's do it. We don't know what's going on anyway. Yeah.
Like, we're just here for a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can do what you want. It's Cambodia. One guy opened a sandwich shop. 2 weeks later, he's like, now I'm running a cell shop. I was like, a mobile phone shop. I was like, this is wild.
Follow your path. Follow your dreams.
Just do what you want. Yeah, it was wild. Cambodia was wild. And then my second one was Greece. The first time I went to Greece, it was spectacular because I had never been there before. And we went to, was it Scala, which is not that busy of an island. And just because we had never done it before, it was all inclusive and it was just magical. We met great people. Yeah. So that was my number one, like, holiday. Those are my two.
You can't beat an all inclusive, especially in Greece.
You really, as long as you get a good one. Like, as time's gone on and I've done a couple more, I'm like, oh, we did luck out on that first one. That first one was good because they were a smaller family. You could see that people weren't going to Scala all that much at that time, which is the key.
Yeah, so it's really like a big destination.
They were doing whatever they could for you. We weren't on the beach, but they had a bus. The food was good, I think, because we were a little further away from the beach. Like, it was just little things at the time you didn't realize. And when I look back, I'm like, oh, if only you really knew. Yeah.
If only you knew. But there was no weed pizza, so.
Weed pizza in Cambodia. Are you kidding? It's legal in Thailand now. They bake marijuana. It is legal to have, they have edible goods. So you can put marijuana in. Yeah, so it's we're one step closer. Come on, catch up.
I mean, I personally cannot do it because.
I respect, yeah.
I mean, I started young and that was a mistake.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I started young and B, ate it on the first go.
Oh, never eat it. You have no control. You're just in for a ride that you can't control when you eat it. Right? If you have a little toot, you can like come down. Like you can have like a piece of toast and be like, whew, all right. You just look yourself in the mirror, give yourself a little talk, like, take a little nap. You're okay. It'll be quick. But in eating, you're like, whoa, what's your digestive like? You don't know. What's your metabolism? Oh, God, at any moment it could strike. 4 hours later, you could be talking to your mom and just be like, what?
It wasn't even crazy, though. I just felt really stressed out and sad.
Oh, honey.
Like, it was awful. I wasn't even high. I was just a bit, like, stressed out. I was just like...
The absolute opposite of what we would hope you would have. Oh, babe. Wow.
And it was in Amsterdam. I thought that was meant to be like the good shit.
Oh, Amsterdam is the worst place to do it because it's so grungy and like people need to have a clean, nice perspective of what it can be. Like, for example, in Canada now, when you go, if you want to get some, you go into a dispensary, which is like an Apple store. And you walk in and somebody greets you at the front with an iPad and goes, hello, how are you? Is this your first time here? Can I help you find something? What are you looking for? Do you want like indica that'll make you sleepy? Are you looking for sativa that'll give you the giggles? What kind of dosage do you want? It's unbelievable. It's a different world.
Like a winery, like a fancy vineyard experience.
I consider myself a cannabis sommelier, if you will, everyone. That is what I am. Talk to me. I'll help you find what you need. Yeah.
Wow. And there was
So,
me, age 16, just being like, I'll have a space cake in the red light district. And
oh
then eating like half
no,
of it and
that's
crying.
so awful. That's everything you shouldn't do. You may as well have just dropped acid in that environment is what
Right?
you should have done. Tegan.
Would have been more
uh,
fun.
well,
This was,
oh my,
well,
see, you say that, but that drug scares me.
yeah, that scares me as well. Everything
Oh,
scares me
I'm
now.
not ready
After
to
this
face
experience,
feelings.
I'm like, any kind of drug, I'm like, I can't even do weed. Why would I bother doing anything else? Why? I didn't get past level 1. Like,
So I don't mean to make this a weed broadcast. So, but we'll take it back. So
but it is
other
now.
holidays, I do think though, where would I go? Jamaica, because I know I can have a little doot doot.
Well,
I might
there
go
you
to Jamaica,
go.
but I just hate that you did edibles in Amsterdam. Oh, worst place
I was
ever.
16. Come on.
Because I know, you poor thing, because it's so like gritty and bleh. But you know, there's beautiful things in Amsterdam. So now, if I find friends, like if friends want to go next year for her 40th, she's like, let's go. I was like, okay, but here are my rules for Amsterdam. Number 1, we look for a nice hotel.
Yeah.
Okay? Nice. Like, we put more money than you probably want to into a hotel, so we have a nice environment to be in. 2, we do things other than just going to like cafes. We go to a cafe, have a little smoke, have a little whatever, and then let's go to the Van Gogh Museum.
Yeah.
Or let's go look at gardens, or let's go for a walk, or let's go to a nice restaurant. But let's like see the nice things and experience actual Amsterdam.
Have some culture, not just drugs.
Yeah, if you're there, take it in. That's what makes me sad sometimes as a comic. You run around so much and it's all about the show that sometimes you miss the environment that you actually get to travel to, which is, you know, amazing. Yeah. So always
that's what I should have done. We were only there for like one night or something, and it was just a write-off because I did that, and we were with my parents. My parents, this is bad. So I was with my boyfriend at the time. I was like 16, my like school boyfriend. My parents just left us to our own devices. We're like, we're going to go to the Van Gogh Museum. Obviously, we didn't. We went to the Red Light District. They went off to meet my mum's friend, who is Dutch, but had like just adopted this African baby. So she was very like glowing, like, look at me, I've got this African baby. And it was all like, so shit. And then my mum was just like, oh, and then I just rocked up like crying because I was like, had this edible. And she was like, and this is my daughter. You know? Like, what am I doing? She was like, what have I done? What have I raised? And then I was like, I'm just gonna go back to the hotel. I'm just gonna have a stomach ache.
I'm meeting your parents' friends while you did edibles. Oh, Tegan, no wonder you think it doesn't agree with you. You need to be in a safe environment. I'll change it all for you one day.
Thank you.
You're
you
welcome.
teach me the ways.
I just want you to have a nice time, just one time, and be like, it's not all bad.
Right, yeah. I need an eating with the sommelier. That's what I need.
That's exactly what you need.
I need an appointment.
Cannabis sommelier. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's all fun and games, but we need to dig deep into the trauma now. We need the worst holiday ever. What was the worst holiday?
It wasn't the worst holiday because, like, I enjoyed the facilities, but probably the worst experience I had. Not worse, but like
bad, funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So my friend, bless her, my best friend, my BFF, Jody. Shout out, Jody Bajinka. You're awesome. So she would take us on trips, right? Because she was like, I like to go on some trips, and I want to, you know, maybe do it a bit fancier than you might, you know, so I'm going to go. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm along for the ride.
I'm
Let's
all
do
about
this.
that, yeah.
So she really taught me how to have a nice time and treated me to a lot of nice things and taught me that if you're going to do something, do it right, you know, enjoy it. So we go away to LA. We're going to go meet our friend, a comic in LA. And Jody's like, okay, what we'll do is we'll get a really nice Airbnb with like a place that has a pool, because like I love a swimming pool. All I want to do for the rest of my life is swim. If I could be a mermaid, I would. Like
That's
swimming.
Beautiful.
Oh, my boyfriend even says, I just wish you would look at me like you look at a swimming pool. And I was like, I know, babe. Like, I'm sorry, but the
Never
love
compete.
is. Yeah. Especially a saltwater one. Oh my God, a saltwater swimming pool. Come on.
Bonjour.
Yeah. So she was like, I found one with a real nice big pool, and the weather's going to be, it's a beautiful time of year, and it's a really nice apartment. It's all like Brent. And I was like, let's do this. So we're like going to go meet our friend who's like doing shows at like the Comedy Store in LA and hang out with her. And we're so excited. Shout out Deborah G. Giovanni, who is hilarious. And so we get to LA. And we get to the place and we're like, oh, it's beautiful. But the aircon is blasting, right? It's really blasting. And I'm like, it's really air conditioned. But Jody's like, oh, I run really hot, so this is great. I was like, okay, no problem. So we get there late, we settle in.
But your
Go to-
sinuses.
We go to sleep. You're very sweet to even clue onto that. Now, Tegan, what I did was in my bedroom, I found there was a separate way to turn off the air conditioning. So air conditioning was off because I knew, I was like, I will get a sinus infection instantly. So boom, air conditioning off. Wake up the next morning. She has full-on bronchitis from sleeping in a room that cold. Like, so she had been getting sick a little bit, and we traveled, and the trip probably took it out of her, and then we got in that, and she slept in that. She was so sick for the entire holiday. She could hardly, we didn't leave the, like, now and again, she'd be like, she's like shivering in a corner. Do you want to go down to the swimming pool? Like, I know you really want to go to the swimming pool. If you want to go to the pool, that's cool. Sit. And I was like, no, she's like, I'll sit in the hot tub. So, like, we spent a week in LA. With her being the sickest she'd ever been in her entire life. We went out for like 2 dinners. Bless her. She made it through a shop at Macy's one day, and then she was like, I think I gotta go home. I was like,
oh my God, that's enough to finish anyone off without bronchitis.
Oh, she was so sick. I felt so bad. Yeah, so
well,
that was, you know, it wasn't the worst. I still had a good time. Like, it was bonus. I was getting a bonus holiday, so I was like, I'll swim in the pool.
Did you still go to the pool? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course I went to the pool. I'll be like, I'll make you soup. I'll go down for a swim. I'll come up. I'll bring you some liquids. I'll go down to the pool. I'll come up. Like, it was just.
Bless her. That's so bad. Did you still get to go to the shows, like the comedy shows?
Well, yeah, I went and did. So I had booked like a couple of little ones in with my friends. So I went and did them. But she was like, I don't think I can. So she didn't even get to come to the shows, which is like, she loves comedy. That's what she's all about. So
that's what she was there for.
Yeah. So no shows, sitting in this apartment, like. Oh, poor girl. So, yeah. But
that sucks.
It totally sucks. But it was in LA at that time, and it was even before Canada, and it was like you could get delivery marijuana to your door. Sorry to bring it back to that.
Wow.
In LA, you could just call, and there were services, and they would like, and it was like proper, like, legit. Yeah, and they'd be like, here's some bonus rolling papers, and we threw in a little edible sucker for you. I know. It's crazy, Tegan. I just want everyone in the UK to realize that's the world that's out there. That's the world that you could be living in.
And yet here we are just guessing, stabbing in the dark, eating edibles in Amsterdam, crying, throwing up, whiteying. The list goes on.
Guys.
We're embarrassing. We're so embarrassing.
You just need to be taught the ways. But so that was my worst holiday, I guess, as far as like.
I mean, that is pretty shit. To be fair, I was completely. Yeah.
Poor girl. Because anytime I did something, I just felt bad. I was like, oh, are you sure you're okay? I'll be back in like 3 hours. I'm just going to go do a show in LA. Like,
yeah.
I'm
sorry you have to miss it.
Yeah. Sorry you did this anyway. Ooh, flew me out. Okay. I'm just going to. Yeah. So.
I can see it. Yeah. God. I mean, so there you go. Little lesson for everyone. Turn the aircon off or to a reasonable limit.
I'm just saying maybe not sleep in it or like open a window, get some natural, I don't know, like do something.
Yeah, aircon's not good. I mean, I'm a hot person as well.
Yeah.
In both senses.
Well, I mean, we're only saying that.
Get bronchitis. Hot girls have sinus issues. There we are. Hot girls have sensitive sinuses. There's nothing. It happens to us. Mm-hmm. Can't deal with it. You know.
Yeah.
You made the right choice though.
Thank you.
Any other like traumatic times abroad or just...
I think that's about it. The one time, well, sometimes I get, so because I've done a few more all-inclusives, because here's the thing, first time you go into it blind, super happy with whatever, and then your second one, you're like, hang up, wait a minute, like this. This
isn't included?
Yeah, or this doesn't, what do you mean? So the last one we went to, we had to switch rooms 3 times. I was not happy, because the first room we went to, and I saw in the review, room smelled like sewage, and I was like, So there's a little section where there's a sewagey smell, but like that was like 1 out of like every 40 reviews that I read, right? So I was like, okay, sure enough, we get put in a room. I was like, oh, I smell sewage, which is also a bit of a thing with Greece. We know Greece isn't the best, but I was like, no, I don't think we can do this. So I was like, it really smells like sewage. So then they moved us to like the corner unit where everyone walks by to go get their food. Fine. Okay. We're on the pathway. That's cool. But like no internet reception. And I'm sorry. I cannot. I have to be able to like connect. Yeah. I'm still working when I'm on holidays. Like I'm still booking gigs or trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. Like life doesn't stop.
Updating the gram.
Yeah, like,
More
I
importantly.
gotta do things. I gotta show people stuff. I gotta create smoke and mirrors. I can't smoke
Yeah.
and mirrors cannot be created if I can't get online. So
What's the point in going on holiday if you can't tell everyone about it?
if everyone doesn't experience this with me, did it even happen?
Yeah.
So I was like, meh. And the room was fine, but it was dark. But it was more the internet. I was like, there's no internet. So room number 3.
It's a Goldilocks and the all-inclusive hotel.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Room number 3, they put us up, and I could tell they did better. But here's what I found out. So room number 3, we went in. I was like, okay, I'm pleased. We had the balcony. Looking at the pool, fine. I don't mind if we're looking in. I prefer to look out, but that's fine. We're looking at the pool. Doesn't smell like sewage. Everything's fine. Bada boom, bada bing. Great. One night, a couple starts having like a drunken, I'm not going to say a fight, but like drunken behavior outside.
Tiff.
A thing, right? Like she's really wasted. And I saw her inside and I was like, that girl's getting wasted. And he was not being very polite about helping her to the room and like saying stuff like, you do this all the time. You do this to yourself. And I was like, I don't like this guy. And so we're sitting on the balcony. It's late at night and we're listening to him. And he's like, and she can't really walk. And he's just like leaving her and kind of ridiculing her a little bit. And in my head, I was like, I hate this guy. I hate this guy. My boyfriend Danny's like, okay, but we're not getting involved. We're not getting involved. And then he said something to her and Danny's like, okay, let's go down. And I was like, okay, yeah. So we went down just because they were being loud. And we just walked up and we were like, hey, guys. We were very non-confrontational and like.
A Canadian and a Brit, come on.
Yeah, I was
start
like,
any drama.
hey guys, how are you? It's like, oh, I saw you guys were having some trouble. We were sitting up there and we heard you. So we thought we'd just come down and give you guys a hand, you know? So he was like, oh, don't worry about her. She gets drunk like this all the time. And I was like, oh, but it's just, let's take off her sandals. They're high wedges. She probably, so like, took off her sandals and just like, did a few things. But the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not a good person because I take them to the room. I see they're in another building. The building that is beautiful with like gorgeous rooms. Downstairs is the gym and the like sauna area. And I was like, hang on, we're in the family unit. You put us in the, so I realized that, and maybe it costs more money, but I don't think so. Like the whole thing was one thing. So I was like, why didn't you just put me over here? I'm a complainer. Put me on this side.
Oh, come on. They snaked you.
I saw the difference. So because I helped out that couple, I saw what that place really had to offer. And it was a little
You saw the grass was greener. You pulled your best Karen moves and you didn't even get the best block.
Totally. I was very polite about everything, but I was like, look
of course.
at this. Yeah, but anyway, so.
But what happened with the drama? Were they okay?
Well, we saw them the next day, and of course, he was like, oh, good morning. They're all awkward. She's like, hey. I was like, hi. Oh, you're acting like you're fine. Yeah, your relationship seems really great. Anyway, but I was like, I will not get involved. I will not get involved. Because sometimes I want to jump in and be like, honestly, you should get a therapist. Break up with him and get a therapist. And life will be better.
You have to.
And him too. He doesn't need her. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. Maybe just the situation is not. Anyway,
they just weren't a good fit,
Yeah. And the fact that I know that from being on holiday, I shouldn't. That's the other thing about holidays. You get wrapped in with. You got to be careful who you make friends with. That's a thing Danny and I
true
made an agreement. Holiday. That's why holiday number 1 again, the dream holiday in Scala, Greece. We met really wonderful people, even though we told each other, look, we're not looking for friends. We're not going into this trying to make friends. We're having a holiday.
We're not going to be that couple. No.
Yeah.
But you were.
But we made great friends. They were so cool. And then other holidays, it's like, ooh.
And then once you've made friends, it's hard to get rid of them. You don't want, especially if you're in an all-inclusive resort where everyone's there all of the time.
All of the time.
Like, we can't shake them off.
So, I've learned I'm a bit of a snob now when it comes to all-inclusives because I'm like,
good for you.
That wasn't in the picture. Where about that? This should be there. What about... This isn't exactly what
Get the brochure out, get the fact sheet.
I do.
Hotel websites, a lot of them have fact sheets that you can download and skim. Like
100%. There's supposed to be a hairdryer in the room. Why is there no hairdryer? On the list, it says hairdryer. Oh, yeah.
It says water sports are included. Is that motorized or non-motorized? You've got to read the fine print.
Like, are you talking a paddle boat? Do we get a paddle boat for an hour? Or like what?
Or a kayak? Because they're very different things. And I'll be damned if I'm settling for a pedalo. For God's sake.
No. If you want to get up at 4 a.m. and take that seat, then you should go and sit at that seat.
Yeah, good for you.
That's fine. You can do that. But putting a towel down, that is not. No.
Sorry, pal.
Unless
you're going to the bar for like 5 minutes to get a drink. No. innate
If
reserved.
one of you, I'll give you this even. If one of you is down there and 2 towels are out and you're like, they're coming, okay. Because as a couple, you've made a commitment that one person is going to go down and guard. As long as there's a physical body, you may have the sunbeds. You may have the sunbeds.
Yeah.
If not, move that fucking towel. You can't come down at 3 a.m. and put down a towel and then come out at noon and decide that you're... No, that's not how this works.
That's bullshit.
But my towel was there. Was it? Really? I didn't see it. It's in the pool now. It was in the pool when I came down.
Who did that? Who could it be? I don't know. I didn't see anything. Very In-Betweeners movie. Have you ever seen that movie?
I have seen it. It's,
when they throw it in, it's like, it's got Finding Nemo on it. What are you doing? Don't do it if it's Finding Nemo on it. If it's kids' town, maybe just don't get involved.
Yeah, don't. It's bad.
What's the dream?
Dream holiday. Okay, anywhere where I could have my very own private swimming pool.
Obs.
Private swimming pool. Private swimming pool near water with no sharks. I don't know if those waters exist anymore because we're finding sharks everywhere. That's the other scary thing.
Really?
Sharks are everywhere.
Is that just like in Australia?
No. There are sharks. They from like having like cameras up and about, they're really seeing more sharks. Anyway, don't want to scare you all. Keep swimming in the water, but I think there's a lot of sharks. Anyway.
Also, like, Jaws is coming.
But Jaws is very close. Saltwater private pool where you're close to the beach, so you can still go and swim in the beach, but you also have your pool at night if you don't want to be in the beach at night, you know. I'm an all-day swimmer, so you need it at all hours. And really good, obviously, like, I like the idea of an all-inclusive. I like buffets. I want to be eating. I don't mind going down. I mean, I guess having a private chef, but like my mind doesn't go that far. Like, I mean, if I was to really...
You're not taking the piss here, you know? You're not like...
No, I'm
being
not
outrageous.
Yeah, I'll still go someplace. I mean, I'm sure where I am, I'd be able to order food to my room. But if I got, I would like to be able to go and these are the restaurants you can dine at. Yeah,
peruse.
Sure. Yeah, have a nice... It'd be nice if there was a nice cocktail bar with actual lovely cocktails. You could go have a nice cocktail.
Yeah, not the
in
bleach
evening.
shit.
No more bleach. No more bleach.
Oh, and a swim-up bar. I love a swim-up bar.
I've never done a swim-up bar.
I've only done a swim-up bar in a fucking disgusting dirt hotel in Zante. But then randomly I had a swim and I was like, oh, I love this. But the rest of it, shit. but the swim-up bar, stunning.
Yeah. The only thing I think about a swim-up bar, I'm like, how many drinks have been spilled in this pool? We know I'm swimming in cocktail right now is what's happened.
That's probably the case in Zante.
I always think that. I'm like, well, but I guess what's better, cocktail or child urine? I mean, it's up to you.
If it's an adults-only hotel, I think it's fine. Because you're like, I'd rather be... Because there
are some dirty, filthy jerks out there.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
I know, but for the most part, we're like, it'll be okay. That's why chlorine is a good thing, even though I wish it was still all salt water. But anyway.
Exactly.
Did you know, I learned a horrible fact.
Tell me.
Okay, I don't want to ruin this for everyone, but apparently, the more a pool smells like chlorine, the more pee there is in the pool.
Oh, shit. I mean, it makes sense.
Because the chlorine's working, so...
It's doing its thing.
Yeah, the more it smells like chlorine, the more it's like, eek.
I do love a bit of tat, but like not too much.
I do tat. I got tat. I got into the world of sparkling camels when I went to Dubai. I love a sparkling camel. I have so many little miniature sparkling camels. I don't know. I'm like an old lady with my every time. But people come over and they're like, those are beautiful. I was like, would you like me to get you a couple of camels the next time I go to Dubai? I do.
Sort them out. I know a guy.
I love sparkling camels.
Hang on, are we talking like glittery or light up?
No, glittery. Like
glitter.
Bejeweled. Yeah, bejeweled camels.
Bejeweled. Like rhinestones.
Yeah, I got a herd downstairs.
I'm obsessed. That is the most like hun thing I've like very live, laugh, love.
It's ridiculous. I'm into it.
So here for it.
Yeah. Every time I go.
never even wanted to go to Dubai before, but now I do just for a sparkling.
I mean, it's horrible. It's built on slavery, but I go out and I do shows, and so I'm part of it. I work hard, right?
You gotta eat, bitch gotta eat, girls gotta hustle. You know,
girls gotta hustle, and I buy sparkly camels. I love them. Yeah.
It kind of offsets the like horrible history, you know, like, built by slaves, but this is sparkly camels. So
sparkly camels. Yeah. I buy them at high prices. I don't go cheap. I always buy.
You're helping the local economy.
I know. Oh, I'm horrible and complaining. No.
Listen, you got to, if you're there for work anyway, take the edge off the sparkling camel. That's fine. You're an odd little treat.
Exactly. Thank you, Tegan.
So bonus questions to wrap it up with. Bonus questions. So there's 2. Okay. First one, would you cruise?
No. I have thought about this. Now, at some point in my life, I will probably do a cruise and do shows on it. So yeah, I
For
will.
sure. Yeah.
But overall, I trapped on a boat. That's how I feel. My aunt and uncle went. They found out that they did not deal well with the sea.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, and then you're on a boat. Like, yeah. And they had them what is the front of the boat called? That is
the
called
aft.
Yeah. And so their room was really movie.
Oh no, you got to be in the middle. You got to be in the middle.
They had an unpleasant. Yeah. And then another time I heard about people like, there's a lot of, people get sick on a boat. And then, there's a lot of.
It's a lot of vomit.
Ebola. Some.
Oh wow, you went there. Okay. I was just like, oh, that's a bit unpleasant. But like, you're like disease. Okay.
Icky. But
icky.
It might be lovely. It might be fine.
I think if you're on like a massive boat,
a big one,
it might be okay because then you're not like confined, and you can get off the boat. What I will say, you obviously can get off the boat, but like the whole you do have to. You can't really just leave.
Yeah, and you're just like around people anyway. So I've thought about it. I mean, if someone was like, "You've won a cruise," I'm going on the cruise. Like,
sure,
absolutely. Would I pursue that? No, I'd probably pursue other options.
The second bonus question.
Yes.
What is your favorite motorway services?
Ooh.
Now,
yeah.
I don't know if that's something you're au fait. I mean, as a comedian, you probably are au fait with various motorway services of the UK.
Okay. Now, I'm a northern girl, but when I I went down south, I did shows in Devon and Plymouth.
Ooh.
And there were it was the farm shop.
Gloucester.
I mean, I bought meats there. We had some of the most delicious chicken mushroom pie I've ever had in my entire life. The pastry was so flaky. Like, it was an amazing, there's a lot of, like, there is a whole shop there. Like, it's like a farmer's shop. That's my favorite. That's because,
this has come up before. So not necessarily Gloucester, but so there's another one that's like an exact replica called T-Bay.
Yeah.
Which is on the way up to Scotland. So we've discussed T-Bay. And like just the general, I think Gloucester is like the same as T-Bay. Yeah. So the farm shop. Oh. There's also just like a shop that sells like clothes and stuff as well, which is all very like like £50 for a dress, but it's like we're here.
Yeah. Because I've always appreciated a good, again, as a comedian, especially coming from Canada, there's a lot of driving that we do. Like, it's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So you get to know where the really good stops are to like have a pit stop. And there used to be this one on the way to Lethbridge. Oh my God, I loved it because it was right by a meat packing plant. So it had like beef jerky and burgers and like some of the best meat products you'd ever like. Do you want some sirloin steaks? I'd be like, okay, we're to stop here on the way back home because I want to pick up. And they were open 24 hours, so I'd be like, okay, we're going to get some fresh organic sirloin steak.
We're going all out tonight.
Yeah. So I used to love, they had the best, and they had like a bakery in there. Ooh. But I used to love in small towns, sometimes you'd reach one and it had like crazy shops with crazy stuff in it. There was always like now and again you find one with one of those as seen on TV shops. So like here it's JML. Like
JML,
yeah. So, and you'd be like, oh my God, it's like everything I've ever wanted from TV I could buy right now at this gas station.
I don't have to order it,
Yeah. So it's very tempting.
Get a slanket on the road.
I need one. Yeah.
I think I did actually own a slanket once upon a time, but it was very like, like when it makes your hair static.
Yeah, see? It's going to be a cheap material. I know it's going to be. That's
wasn't ideal. It wasn't, but like a foot spa, potentially could do a foot spa.
Oh, that'd be nice as the passenger. Yeah. I'm just going to
pop these in. Is that all right?
That's cool, hey? It's got a car.
You're the one doing all the pedal work, but that's fine. I need to soak.